Ian, what do you have for us today? You're on mute.
Today I have Euro USD, but I'm not so happy about it.
Okay.
The Euro USD looks better than the others. Otherwise, I have Euro GPI, which is far away from, it's in a range. Euro New Zealand,
Which
is
one?
not so good. Okay, I'll choose Euro USD.
Yeah.
Okay. For Euro USD, looking on 1 hour, we can see here a big uptrend. Okay, here it's a guy who started it with volume. Another guy who started it here, and that's all. Here it's a trap. Okay, we are, and now I'll consider I am in a pullback. Okay, and I consider this to be a turn now, because these guys here and here they were taken, and I have this resistance here where I can take a sell. The reason about it is it's that okay, here it's a guy who started it, and here we can see some rejections, and now we should fade this pullback in order to get a sell until here at the lower low. But looking on a higher time frame of 4 hour, it seems to be an uptrend. So it could be an uptrend. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused, but this is the best pair I have now for today.
Okay, now to ask you a question, you considered this as a pullback, and then here you're saying the trend has changed. What made you think that the trend has changed? Because the trend seems to change here, right? If you're saying that if the guy who started is taken out, and this guy is taken out, then here, you know, the trend sort of changed here too. So
yes, I consider this because 2 guys who started it were taken, and for sure now we have a trend change on this time frame. And this guy has some volume here. This guy, not so much volume here, but here we could see a lot of volume. Here, volume around here. Here, volume down. Okay, let's see where it starts. Okay, it starts from here. Yeah, it starts from here with volume. So it's a healthy downtrend now.
Yeah. So based on the 60-minute, it does feel like the trend has changed, right? That's why you went to the 240 to check the trend or the MAs, that kind of stuff, right? So
yes.
On the 240, you want to take it a little bit slow. So uptrend, right?
Uptrend.
Could this be a slowdown? Maybe. And then this thing pulls back to the 20 MA, sort of. Then it tries for their refresh around here, doing their primary and secondary kind of thing around this zone here, right? Because, you know, slow down, enough sellers, and then they might start to buy. After that, it kept going down further. So even on a 240, it doesn't seem like we want to resume what this uptrend may be doing.
Maybe, but we can see here we have on the 4 hour
a big range, right?
A big range. We have here a big move up, but we enter it into the range, and the last guy who started it on the 4 hour could be this or this. and they were also could be taken. So we are now into the range again.
Yeah. So 240 is telling us the buy doesn't really look that healthy anymore because it has slowed down and invited sellers. They try to do their buys, refreshes around here and kept filling. So
Yes.
in cases like this, just to know what kind of, just to know if we are counter trending or not, we can just quickly have a look on the daily and see if we are counter trending. So are we counter trending on the daily?
Yes, and now we are returning on the sell side, continuing the big sell from the daily, because we are above the 50 and 20 MAs.
Okay, on the daily.
So it's a good refresh.
Refresh for what on the daily?
For this big, for this guy who started it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have seems to be like a good refresh. Okay, and this could be a primary. And I expect it to be a secondary now.
Something like that, but something like that. But the thing is, all we know on the daily is we are not counter trending. If we are looking for a sell, we are with the trend. Okay, on a 240, 240 is saying the buys are failing as well, so we're not counter trending as well. On the daily, this is not really your primary because you have to look at this piece coming down. When it goes all the way back up, these area here might already sort of refresh in this chunk to try and go down. They try to go up and hold a bit and then fill. So if we go one more time from higher, it might just be a weekly thing trying to refresh situation. So we do not really need to look at the weekly because that we are going way too high. All we need to know when we are going on the higher time frame is to check if we are counter trending or not. That's all.
Okay.
Right. So so it seems like you're safe to do the sell based on that. So do you see?
Because the 4 hour and daily are in a downtrend generally now.
Yeah, daily is for sure in a downtrend, but on the 240, it's telling you that we have tried to refresh around here to go up and they failed. So it might look like an uptrend still, but it doesn't, based on what we're looking at here, doesn't look like the buys are around anymore.
Yes.
Does the logic make sense? So do you see how many steps we have to go through just to check if the trend is safe to trade or not?
Yes, but now looking on the 4 hour, we could see that there is room for making a counter trend trade because we are below the 20 MAs and the 50 MAs. But considering that we are in a range and inside the range, yeah, there is a discussion. Here we are under the MAs and the slowdown is not just like a slowdown, but comparing this candle down with this many candles, it's a slowdown. So we should expect at least the price to touch the 20 MAs.
No, so you're taking things a little bit too far. We do not use the MAs for anything besides checking for refresh. That's all.
So I'm not considering now it's a good refresh.
Yeah. I'm saying that you do not really need to look at the MAs. The MAs is just for you to check if you're counter trending or not. That's all.
Okay. So if I enter into a buy, I'll see which room we have. But I'm thinking about the sell.
Yeah. So so let's say, all right, let's say we are right here. Okay. Let's say we are right here. And let's say for whatever reason, we are trying to sell this. Let's say we want to sell it here or here. Okay.
Yes.
Now we know this guy is taken out on the 60-minute, right? So
Yes.
based on this alone, we know it's a trap. There should be a release, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now the second thing we need to know is, are we counter trending or not? Because just looking at the left, just like that, we have an idea that we may be counter trending if we are trying to do a sell. If
Okay.
we're selling, yep. Does it feel like we could be counter trending?
For a sell?
Yes, for a sell. This sell.
No, because I consider the trend has changed from here. Because we have this guy who started it. This is another try. We have a trap here and another trap here.
Yep. All of this is correct. All right. This is traps.
So we are in a downtrend in this moment. So a sell is good. It's in with the trend.
So this area here is saying this guy is taken out, pull back, come back towards that area and release. Right? So
yes.
I understand you're looking at that, and that's correct. But do you remember when we were saying some traps work, some trap doesn't work? Because maybe on a higher time frame, they want to do their refresh.
Yeah.
So that's when we go to okay, before going to 240, let me just show you what I mean here. Okay. 60-minute trend kill, right?
Yes.
This price, this area here should release, right?
Yes.
But we always need to consider if we're following the overall trend. If the overall trend is up, we need to know if it's up or down. Okay, so let's say this piece here is overall in a huge uptrend. Yes, I understand that the 60 here has shifted the trend, but if the overall trend is still going up, on the 240, the big boys may see that they have enough pullback for their buys to launch primary. And then us on the 60 trying to sell this may fail and the trend resumes like that.
Okay. Yes.
Do you follow what I'm saying here?
Yes.
Yep. So this piece on the 240, it may just look like this. So we may be selling pieces here right before the big boy steps in to go up. Okay, so when do we know is it safe to trust a trap or not? Because this right here is what we have been learning on the first week, right? Type A, type B, type C situations.
Yes.
So we need to know this trap, if it's counter trending or not. So to know that, we need to see, are we overall going up or are we overall going down?
Yeah, and we check one time frame higher with MAs.
Yep, and then we check one time frame higher with the MAs. That's the only time we use the MAs. Okay, so in this situation, right, we have this, kill. All right, for sure, 60-minute has given us a release area, right, to sell. But we need to ask ourselves if this is counter trending or not, because there might be a possibility where we sell, this thing fails halfway, and then resumes the uptrend.
Yes.
Yeah. So where do we check that?
When on the higher time frame, on 2040, 240,
yep,
240, right. To see the MAs.
Yep.
So we can see here a big uptrend now, and with a big rejection, and this fast rejection is not enough for refreshing.
Okay,
because
so here, because when it push up, no higher highs, right? Push up, no higher highs. So just based on these 5 candles alone, you can say it has slowed down, inviting enough sellers to come in. Right?
okay, so you consider here a slowdown and the 20 MA touched. So we have a good refresh.
Yep.
At this moment. Okay.
So on the lower time frame, we do not want to sell.
Yes.
Right? Because this sell, although it worked, but it also have the possibility of doing this.
Yes.
Yeah? Do you follow?
Yes. Yes.
All right, great. So now that what we see is, okay, it sort of refreshes, inviting sellers for the big boys to buy. Let's see if the buy works or not. Okay, the buy just fails. 240 refresh has failed. So if it at this point, it's telling us that the 240 tried and failed. Okay, that's all we know. So if that's the case, if we want to sell this, you're also looking at this the way that from here it's going up, right? So you also just want to check if I'm looking to sell here, if it pulls back, if I'm counter trending or not on a higher time frame. Because so far 60 is saying we're in a downtrend, 240 is saying we're in a downtrend. But because we also see where we are coming from on the left, we just want to know if we are counter trending on an even higher time frame, like USD yen.
Yes.
Right? So on the daily, 1 time frame higher, are we counter trending without looking at the MAs?
Okay.
Yeah. So are we counter trending on the daily?
Here now not. The direction is down.
Yeah. So that's all.
The sell on 1 hour is okay.
So that's all you need to know. Okay. Daily is going down. 240 is saying at one point it wants to go up but failed. Right? 60-minute is also going down. So everything is going down. That's how you choose your direction safely. Okay.
Yes.
This range here. This range here, right, doesn't really have so much power because you've got to start thinking in terms of logic. Range, right? People selling. Sell, sell, sell. Everyone's selling. Once this thing breaks, who's trapped? They're trapped, right? So where do they want to release?
They want to release from here.
Yeah, anywhere around this high to this high. Because if they sell on the top end of the range, the best area to get out at break even is the area that they sold, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in this case, we can assume that they try to release, and fail.
Trap above.
Yeah.
Here.
So they're not really there anymore because they try and release and they fail. Yeah. So if that's the case, then we pull back, we can safely sell this.
Okay. So I thought about selling down. We are about the last guy who started it here and sell from here. But okay, it's just support and resistance. But we should reach this trap area in order to have a good sell.
Yep. Yes.
So we are far away from this.
Yep. Far away. Yep. So initially, what were your concerns about the range?
Yeah, I thought that we are in a range, we are in a sell, so we should continue selling because we are in a range. But I didn't study the higher time frames. Like, okay, with 4 hour, I was sure it is a downtrend because this guy and this guy were taken, and I didn't check on the daily.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not so much about this guy being taken out or this guy being taken out. It's more so of on the 240 they have refresh and they fail. So the buys are not there anymore.
Yes, it's about the sell, but the sell should be from here, not from here.
Yeah. Why is it from there and not here?
Because this is a good trap. It has more importance and more power than this support and resistance.
Why does this have more power?
Because many people thought it's about a buy, and they were trapped.
Yep. People thinking it's a buy, plus the fact that these guys trying to buy this because they
We're
want to
trapped.
get out at break even.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good. So 60-minute. Let's move on. So you guys see we have a lot of steps to go through when we are checking if we're counter trending or not. Okay, so we're not there yet. Of course, price may bounce off from here, but the best area, at least for us to sell from, is going to be at the top. Okay.
Yes, but I also see here a slowdown.
Yep.
Just for now.
Yes, it is a slowdown, but it could be an illusion as well. So
Yeah.
always better to be safe, or at least sell at an area where it's high enough.
Okay, so it's better to wait here because it's a good trap. It's a more power. Okay.
Yes, you always need to put priority on where your 60-minute trap is. In this case, your 60-minute trap is here. Right? This is just support resistance area. So if you call this like A class support resistance level, then this is like C class, like not so strong. It can work, but most time areas like this would work better.
Yeah. You talked about the classes on support and resistance. I don't know about them.
No, I'm just giving you an example.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone understand how we went through to look for the direction, team A and team B.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if it goes something like this and go down,
and then it's fine, right? Because
we should fade this on the 5 minutes. This turn.
No, when the trade goes without coming to your release zone, then just let it go, because you always want to be safe than trying to catch every move in the market.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. Being safe is the priority here, not making money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Eric.
Because I was looking at this one as well. The thing that concerns me was this thing here. It's somewhere here, I think. And at the moment, the price is not at a position that has got enough room to pass through this high volume. So, and also the downtrend, if you look at this, it has got some volume, I think, over that area. That's why I think the price is at the moment reacting from. But yeah, it's at this moment. It's not the best scenario in our setup, I would say.
Yeah. So based on looking at the pullback overall volume from here to here, volume is at the middle and then it's still inching its way up. So cannot really say that the uptrend, this pullback is dying just yet. So there's only a few things we can do in cases like this. All right, volume is here. We either have volume transfers over the sell side, or we get this push to have even higher volume up there. At this point, it's all about who has higher volume. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So, yep. If you guys have any question, please let me know.
I just got one for this one real quick.
Yep. Go ahead.
So if price does decide to take off in this area, since we kind of have temporary buyers already, if the sellers come in and the volume transfers, do you think we'll be able to take a sell at this point?
Then you gotta make sure, because if you take the cells from here, here, we always gotta make sure when we are trading our release on the 5, we have to make sure we have a level on the 60. So to answer your question, if we do go down from there, do you have a level on your 60 to trust?
I think with the volumes and this little range, some buyers came in. So if the sellers take them out and the volume transfers over, then we'll have a level down here.
Yeah. So potentially it could be a possibility if, you're saying that this is an uptrend with the guy who started, all right? Plus could be a range situation. If we do cross below everything, then you have a 60-minute level and you have volume. Then it's fine.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So sometimes stuff like this, I always start thinking about the best case scenario, and the best case scenario would be for price to, because this pullback, it's not possible for us to read on the 5, right? It's way too huge and extended. So the only way we can try and trade this, as the way we learn in the unicorn, is to wait for a new 60-minute guy who started, ho, kill, like that.
Yeah.
Then we see where the volume is, who has higher volume, all that kind of stuff. But here, it should be okay.
All right. Just want to make sure.
Yeah. Until you create a 60-minute level for yourself. Yeah. Okay. Ian?
Yes. Okay. Considering that this is from daily, from our cell, can we scale in? So can we enter on, let's say 1 hour, 5 minutes, and enter on daily and adding positions for primary, for secondary, for blast?
Yeah. That part you can, but that comes afterwards until you completely master primary and secondary, and the launch part, because you will have 3 trades, right? 1 trade here, and then secondary 1 trade here, and then another trade there. So if you're precise enough, you can try this, scale out, hold a bit until it pulls back, get in again with size, scale out, get in again with size. You can do that, but that's super advanced.
Okay, but we should back up this with the volume analysis every time. So to monitorize with volume on the price action.
Yeah.
So do you recommend to monitorize, let's say, the primary now by fading the 5 minutes pullback, and then also monitorize the secondary, entering the trade, or
So
only the launch?
for you to take a primary safely right now, where do you want to take it?
Here. I want to get here and see what happens.
Yeah. So it's too early to say, what's going to happen there. Until you get up there, if you do sell, see how price comes down. Obviously primary cannot go far, and then see what happens here. All right. And then do that piece, and then do this piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
But a question could be, sorry if I'm repeating. Can we fade the primary and take it? Can we fade the secondary to take it? Because I understood the launch. It's obvious, but what about the primary and secondary? Can we fade them?
Fade them. Well, what do you mean?
With volume, with approach.
Yeah, you can. So it's like this. All right, it's like USD yen. USD yen, we have similar situation. Okay, let me just go to 240. We have this push down. We have an area for release. Okay, as we continue, as we push down and then we're pulling back, no slowdown, right? So we're expecting price to come above the 50 MA and then towards the release zone. Right? So in that case, when we're on a 60-minute, our job, if you want to sell the primary, is just to wait for this to go up towards the release zone and then try to see if you can sell primary from there.
How? When the 5 minutes, right?
On the 5, yes. So if you sold this primary, that's fine. Just know that it will stop. Then remember yesterday, some of the guys, I think Casey and Eric, they were attempting the secondary around areas like this. So, but obviously here right now, we know this is the best secondary area. So what you're thinking about just now is trying to sell this piece, get out a bit, pull back, sell that piece, and then sell this piece.
How can we differentiate between this and this? How can we know?
We'll talk about that later. But you can go over the recording from yesterday because I talked about this piece and this piece in yesterday's class.
Okay, I'll see it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we can go over the secondary part in a bit if we have time.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Lila?
Yeah, on the daily Euro USD, you said that wasn't a primary. I didn't understand why, really.
Euro USD?
Yeah, I think it was Euro USD.
Okay, it's not this piece, not primary. Okay, so we have to look from here as we go down, go down, go down, go down. And then here it sort of started to pull back, right? Sort of started to pull back, but because there's not much slowdown, we would expect price to come up here, right? For refresh. When we have a refresh, then only we start to think about primary, secondary situation like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So when we push down, pull back, didn't go higher. Instead, we stall here for so long. Then it pushed up like that. It sort of gets me thinking if the daily wants to refresh, these areas of slowdowns may have already invited enough people to try and attempt a refresh situation. So maybe when price pulls back up higher, maybe they have tried to do the primary and secondary before. It's just because this piece is so long. Yeah. Then I'm not sure where the primary secondary is. Generally speaking, we want to see slowdown like that, but here it's like that.
A big range with a lot of volume. Yeah. Okay, I understand.
So
Thanks.
let's just see. Maybe on the weekly it's a primary. Maybe. Yeah, maybe, right? Because down, ray,
ongoing.
trending ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. Williams, do you see anything today? I think you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards Euro New Zealand based on the card gen that I took yesterday
Euro New Zealand.
for sale.
Okay. So what do you see here?
Now the uptrend is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Got the range.
Yep.
So since we broke the range,
Yep.
and we end up taking back the guy that started it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're expecting like a release. So now probably around this area.
Mm-hmm.
For the buy side.
Yep.
Then we keep going up.
Mm-hmm.
So to the last push got taken down by the seller. So we can expect, back to the release on somewhere around there as well. For the sell side.
Yep.
So we were the volume on this for the from the seller. And we had the volume started at the bottom for the buyers as well. So what I'm looking at from the top, we have the release on for the seller, and from the bottom, we have the release on for the buyers. So I'm looking at probably it's gonna like form a range. So because that was why I looked at the card here yesterday that I took, but I still have a question on that maybe later on.
Okay.
Then I was probably watching, waiting for the pullback to see if it's going to come back with the volume and slow down.
On which pair? On this pair?
On this one. So I'm watching for the buyer slow down and the rollover to the sell side with volume.
Yep. Okay. Now,
because I'm in the New Zealand yen based on that as well.
Okay. So for Euro New Zealand, trap is correct. Obviously, you know it's a huge trap, right? Not just because there's volume, but also because we have broken to new highs around here. Right after a huge refresh, everyone thought it was a sell at one point, and then buyers kept loading up to refresh to keep going up, break new highs. Everyone wants to start thinking about the buys here, and with volume, right? So obviously it's a release area for sure. Do you have any concerns about this pair, this setup?
Major concern is the overall the uptrend. Probably I'm not sure if these guys could gonna be around. They might end up keep going up based on the flow from the upward.
Yep. That's one. That's the thing I was thinking about as well. Because I can understand what you're saying here based on this, and I agree as well. A lot of people are trapped there, but what's this trend doing, right? So in cases like this, here's what I would check. I would want to see on a higher time frame if there is a possibility where this, because you remember, like in the first few lessons we were saying all we want to do is trend trading, that's all. So in this case, I would check. I know this is a release for sure. I know there's volume. I know price can react here. The question is how much it's going to react. And to answer that question is we have to follow a trend, sort of, right? You were saying this sort of still feels like an uptrend, but it definitely feels like it's failing as well. So to make this trade a little bit better, if, let's say, if this is a primary on a much higher time frame, we'll have to check. All right. Then this could just be a secondary on again on the higher time frame for the sell. That would be the safest way to approach the analysis to tell yourself that the sell here is still sort of following the trend. Does that make sense? Just so
Yeah.
we are in a trend, downtrend.
Okay.
So let's just see. Which, not really, right? We're not really in any kind of trend going on. Having that said, you can attempt the sell, but try and get out quick, or make sure you have volume behind you before taking the sells. So far, like you said just now, you have volume here. Okay, you have volume up there. You see a slowdown here. All right. If you and then once you on the 5 minute get a setup with a kill, that kind of situation with high volume, you can try and take it down to areas like this. I'm not sure exactly where. It doesn't look that clear to me.
Yeah, because that's what I said on the CAD-GN yesterday. That I was just trying it to see how it works out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a good trap. I mean, it's a trap. There's volume, but it's not really following the trend. But it's not counter trending either. So it's not like the perfect scenario kind of situation, but it's not bad also.
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense? Why is it good? Why is it bad? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I understand.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, Maya, you have anything for us today? I think you raised your hand just now. Oh yeah, another thing is, if you guys are on mute, I think if you guys just press space on your keyboard, you can just start speaking. Something I just found out yesterday.
Yeah, that's if the app has focus. Otherwise, space doesn't work.
Ah,
I tried that and then I was muted and then the other window was activated. Anyway, before I share what I'm busy with, Lucas, just a general question. I tend to start on a Monday with a pair and then I sort of stuck in that pair for the rest of the week. What is the best to go about? Should you start every day clean, and what do you specifically look at? I mean, do you just start from A to B and the first one you get you trade? What's your thinking process? How do you go about?
Okay, so like this. Let's say like this pair, right? Let's say I come into Monday right here. Okay. And then I see this breach, and based on that, I think we covered this last week, but based on this, it might be a refresh. So on Monday, then we start picking up the buys around here. Okay. So that buy can do a few things. Can reach to the recent highs and then start ranging, because who knows, these guys may still be selling. So the way I do it is get in here, get out here, and then see what happens. So sometimes you might see another range forming where these guys haven't really fully released. And when they release, you just follow along the buys from there. So I think to answer your question.
No, I get that once you're looking at a pair, but what makes you decide what pairs to look at for that day? I mean, do you just start from the top to the bottom, random order, or what make you look at that specific pair? Because otherwise I might just choose any random pair and see if I can trade that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. You want to start with identifying the ABC type trap.
Yeah, but don't you have a process of deciding, okay, today I'm going to trade short the dollar? Or do you have a starting point, or do you just go through all your pairs and see if you can find a pattern.
Yeah, I go through all the pairs, I find a trap, and based on the trap, I highlight all the traps and which trap is following the trend, and then I eliminate from there. So to answer your question, I go through everything each day.
Okay, so there's no precedence of, okay, dollar is strong or weak. We have to not buy the dollar, like Naveen follows, you know?
Yeah,
do
you
do
can
that?
you can do that as well. I don't, but some prop traders do. So there is no right or wrong way to do it. The whole idea here is just to make sure, because I like trading in a more systematic approach. So I just want to make sure I'm trading off a 60-minute release zone. So that becomes my priority to start with when scanning a pair. You see what I mean? So even if the fundamentals is saying, let's just say, even if the fundamentals are saying Swiss is going to be strong for the entire month, right? I still sort of need to have a level on my pair, Swiss franc pair, to trade off. So, because of that, I might as well just start with looking for the levels first.
Okay, so the short answer is go through all the pairs, see if you find something with space to trade and trade that direction.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily the best way or the right way. It's just what I found has worked well for me long term.
Okay, and obviously with the trend.
Yeah.
If there's sort of a channel and you're trying, or a range and no trend, do you often try and catch the bottoms and tops? And will whatever we do work with that?
Yeah. So let's say this is obviously a trap, right? When this guy got killed. Say if we're anticipating a channel might be forming, then zones like this might be an area for us to anticipate what's it called, a channel forming. And then you just look at this piece coming down again, same thing. Us guy on the 60 gets taken out, pull back to buy. That kind of situation. It's fine too.
Okay, so you still use it. You just don't say, okay, this is in a channel or a range, I'm not going to trade it. You still try and look at if you can get entries on that.
Yeah. So I'll start looking again from where the trap is here and see what happens here. Then I start processing what's actually going on. We're still in an uptrend. It could be in a channel. All right, this pullback is very, very extended. There's no way I'm gonna fade the pullback on the 5. So give me a kill and then pull back. So I start here first. Yeah.
Cool. Now that answers my question. Thank you. And then what I was looking at, obviously, was the pound dollar. We can have a look at that.
Yep.
I did a short sell yesterday, but we won't go through that one. I would just like to get your overview now. Now, obviously, the trend was up and it turned around, but also that leg down, that 1, 2, 3 pushes down is also at the end now. So you're sort of in a two-sided market, am I correct?
Yep. So
okay, and basically we're in the money spot because there's not much room to the upside or more to the downside, but it leans more to the upside. So how will you read this?
So okay, this guy is obviously taken out, right? Him or this guy. So it's a little bit similar to what Eon was saying just now, right? So you have an idea that 60-minute is obviously going down. You also see this piece. So what do you need to check next?
Maybe the 4 hour, because this is now counter trend.
Yep. So if let's say right now I see this, people who are trying to buy off, I don't know, this kind of area here, and I were thinking to sell this, I just want to know, I just need to make sure this is not a higher time frame pullback for their primary to go up, come down for the secondary to do this, right? That's all I need to make sure if I'm trying to sell that this is not the case, right? So let's go up to one time frame higher just to see if we're actually refreshing.
Because this is at a point where they might hit the cells because it's right at the 20.
Yeah, all right, before the 20.
This can either go up or down now.
Yeah. So before the 20, this piece here goes up. This would be your slowdown. All right, push up, no higher highs, push down, and then no higher highs, and then came down. So this thing came down towards the 20 MA. Then, we would assume that the buyers are loading up to do their primary around here. So sort of like they are trying to refresh around these zones or this entire zone. Okay, and then they fail. So similar situation as the one we discussed earlier. The buys should have went from here because they slowed down, invited enough sellers for a refresh, but they stall for a little bit more and then collapse. So 240 is saying, I don't think this uptrend is still going. Does that make sense so far, just based on this piece?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so start from here and here based on this. Okay, good. But the thing is, I can still see this. All right, so we obviously still have a feeling that it could be a refresh, maybe on even a higher time frame. So let's just see if we are safe to sell. Okay, so on the daily time frame, the first thing you'll see is we are just based on this swing going up, right? Is there any slowdown from there?
No, not really.
Not really, right? So not really, then at this point, we will assume that the sell can still go until the 50 MA. Even if it doesn't reach the 50 MA, we're still far away from the 20 MA. So it still tells us that it's okay to think about the sells. Does that make sense so far?
That does make sense, thanks.
Okay, so that's all we are doing to check if we are counter trending or not. And so far it's saying, no, we're not really counter trending. Okay, so once that's out of the way, we can now assume that this sell can be done. The next step would be using the volumes and all that kind of stuff. All right, so where do you see the volume at for this entire piece?
Okay, I'll do that now. But before we get into that, so you will still lean more towards the sell for this, even though at the bottom it seems like it's turning on the 1 hour. Will you still try and get a sell?
So far, with what we've discussed, it's a sell, but we have to look at the volume first. Yeah, but without looking at the volume, it's for a sell. The trend is saying sell. That's all.
Okay, because we got a bit of high volume here.
Yep.
Down at the bottom, and we also got high volume here at the top.
Okay.
So that's why I say it's sort of in a no man's land. It can go either way.
Yep.
So it's sort of ranging, yeah, in this zone. So I think it can either go that way or it can either go this way. So I think if we see a failure to one side, then one can lean more towards the other side and go towards these areas. Maybe this area up here.
Okay. No, I was just looking at this bar because yesterday this bar was when market were open and it has high volume as well. So this area here, right? definitely it's going to invite sellers because it's so enticing, with a huge outside bar, with volume, all that kind of stuff. So people are going to sell from there for sure, right? So that becomes an area of importance just because we know, not just because there's volume here, but also because on the lower time frame, someone actually were trying to sell and they got killed. So right now, let me clear everything. Right now you have volume here, here, and here. Okay, so far highest volume is here. The only thing I think would be safe is, like you said, wait for this thing to resolve down, get the volume to transfer over, and then sell from there.
I get that. Okay. That answers my question. Yeah. So I was actually attempting, because it broke that little range to the upside, but now it seems like it's getting rejected. And the best thing, as you say now, is just wait for it to resolve to the downside and get a pullback for a sell.
Yep.
Okay.
So in this case, this just might be a primary sort of kind of situation. Cannot go far because it came towards this zone here and then bounced hard. So this is sort of like a secondary situation going on, but we cannot really sell this just because there's so much volume here. It's a tight spot, right? This and this. So it's safer to wait for this. This would be launch kind of situation.
Great. Thank you. Now that was my pair I was looking at.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, I have this pair marked as well. Okay, cool. No questions for this one?
No, I'm done. Thanks.
All right.
Can we consider the volume also up? So we have two candles. I think there are two candles here with volume down and another candle with volume up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the volume is resolved up. So it's a buyer here.
Mm-hmm.
You said it's a seller, but it's resolved up. Okay, but you said on the lower time frame there are some sellers here.
Okay.
So we have the volume in front. Yeah.
Right. So like this, just without going down to the 5, would you feel like this sell could work from here?
Now, yes.
Yes, right? Because it
Yes.
sort of seems like we also reach the release zone here, and all that kind of stuff. So if people are thinking it's a sell, then obviously someone is gonna not be able to hold and resist, and they get in on that sell. So once they sold this piece, this thing resolves up. If anyone sold here and resolves up, who's trapped?
Sellers, yes.
Seller's trapped, right? So these zones, it's gonna be
okay. So we have also the buyers and the sellers trapped.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, when we pull back towards that area, what's gonna happen?
It will reject, and this could be yes, it's primary.
Yeah, this could be primary, and then the primary cannot go far because someone below may still try to do their buys. Yep.
Yes.
So it's volume that causes this thing to stop, but it's also lower time frame traders that could be trapped there. Generally speaking, we're not so worried about lower time frame traders being trapped. We only worry about that if there's super high volume.
Yes. So we have volume in front of us.
Yeah, we have volume in front of us, unfortunately.
Yes.
So the same thing, when we were selling here, we also have volume in front of us. Here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it keeps bouncing around there. Yeah? So the best way to make sure we have a higher success rate on this trade is, because now we already have even higher volume. Now let's just make sure we have this guy behind us, because who knows, maybe they're still trapped and they're still trying to release.
Yes, but also in this case, we have, if we take the trade from here, okay. You said, yeah, it will go below, go above. We also have volume here. So how you interpret? So we have volume here, we have volume here. Also, always the volume in front of us.
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So the idea here is you have volume here, you have volume here, all right?
Mhm.
So obviously, okay, now we see that it went up, so we can assume that it's just buyers coming in. So let's say, all right, buyers, you have volume from the bottom of this downtrend. Good for you, man. Go up. Good for you, man. Again, at the bottom, go up. And then at the top, the buyers have volume again. All right, so right now, this uptrend, is it 50-50 or is it a strong uptrend or strong downtrend?
Strong uptrend.
You have volume here, here, and here. Is it a 50-50 uptrend, a strong uptrend, or a weak uptrend?
For now, it's strong until here.
All right, let me ask you again.
50-50.
You have volume. If high volume are all here,
Yes,
is this a strong or strong?
strong.
Strong. Okay, high
Yes.
volume here, is it strong?
Yes,
Let's say high volume here. Is it strong?
strong. Yes, until this point, yes.
Until this point is we're not sure. Because why are we having so much high volume again and again and again? Right now, high volume is at the top. Who's buying at the top? So that's not sure part. That's the 50-50.
Okay, so it's above here, the high volume, and also in an area of interest.
Yep.
On 1 hour, yeah.
Yep. So if this is 50-50, the only way to have one side win, all right, is to make sure we can trust the level, 60-minute level, or whatever level there is, which is this one. And to make sure when we get below volumes like this, right now, this volume is on the downside. This volume is on the downside.
Okay,
So it's,
volume transfer, yeah.
yeah. So it's more like what, 25, 75 situation where we have more on the sell side, less on the buy side. So it's not super safe, right? For sure, it's not super safe because you still have volume here. But at least when you have this, you have this to work off, you have this one transferred over, this one transferred over. Then you gamble and see, if we can take it. You take your chance there. Yeah, it can fail,
Yes.
sure, but you're trying to stack the odds here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. You see this a lot of times, but just make sure if it fails at a good level, you have volume there, volume transfer over, and then just weigh the buyers and sellers and see who has a better chance.
Mhm.
Right, that's all we're trying to do.
So we should take the risk to take the trades from here. Also, we have the volume here in front. Okay, because of this volume and this volume, this and this. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. Let's take 5. We come back with more examples.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. All right, everyone back? Yep. Okay. Let's continue. Jay, do you have anything for us today? Looking at anything interesting?
Not much is setting up. I noticed a lot of pairs arranging. I was able to find one, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's New Zealand CAD.
All right. What do you see here?
So I think there's two ways to look at this. We could say the seller is refreshed and then to go buyers, or price is just ranging. With the pullback coming in now, I would want price to come up to this level. But the only thing is, if you zoom out, the sell is just really overextended
Okay.
and the momentum's slowing down. So I don't know. But other than that, I think the volume for the sell looks good. With the strength of the buyers coming in, this could just be a probe.
Yeah. Yeah. Volume does seem good around this chunk here, right? You could look at it as a refresh. I guess you can. Otherwise, it could be a range or even a channel of sorts. But I wouldn't really hope for price to come all the way up here for me to sell. Because if it does do that, then there could be also a possibility where this is a huge probe of the range coming all the way back in. But to, again, to counter the argument of what I just said, it could also be a channel situation where, it's just going back really deep inside the channel to continue going down. So yeah, there's a few ways to look at this, but for sure, obviously, the area where there are people trapped is this zone here. So we can see buyers trying, and fail before getting killed. But yeah, like you said, we are really extended.
Yeah, really overextended.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really like this either. Not the biggest fan also.
I'm still stuck in the buys on USDN. I had a question on it though.
Yep, sure. Just one thing. Generally speaking, if we are in a huge downtrend, we would want situations like this a little bit more, where we can. First thing, obviously, is when we are close to where buyers are trapped situation, and selling it from there. Well, here we don't really have a pullback, but stuff like that. Because this piece is sort of selling. If we are comparing left to right, this piece here is sort of selling stuff like here. So yeah, but you get the idea, right?
Yeah, even if it does a big refresh like that and we have a nice level, I'll be concerned because it's still overextended, but I don't know, because it refreshed like that a couple of times already.
Yeah. In a huge downtrend like that, you can still trust the refresh, but try and take it close to where buyers are trapped. In this case, you can see buyers kept coming up higher and higher. But in this case, all buyers were trapped here, and we have sort of made a new low situation, and obviously it can do this, but I prefer doing the sell from there, taking it down towards recent low, rather than cheesing it kind of thing when we are so extended towards the downside.
That makes sense.
And we compare it to the Aussie CAD. I was interested in that this morning. I saw something interesting.
Aussie CAD.
I think I saw something on the 4 hours that made me think that this could be maybe short-term sell or something.
Short-term sell, yep. Refresh to sell.
Yeah.
Yep. This could be the case because, again, overall extended downtrend, but we do see, I don't know, could this be a slowdown? Not sure, but we definitely are seeing buyers coming in, right? That's for sure. We definitely see buyers coming in. So we have buyers coming in. If those buyers are trapped, then maybe we can start the sales from there.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I have this also, but could be something for later.
Good.
Yeah. So again, same. This is the stuff, right?
Ranging there.
Yeah.
You should know. Yeah. If you come down, it should be more like, okay, if it comes down, now it is trying up there. Maybe this is the first primary or something. See, don't take the secondary either, only the own move when it comes down and slow up then. Yeah,
don't take the secondary in this case. If you're thinking this could be a primary, you don't do that because you have volume
here. Just come under the range, come up slowly to the own move.
Yeah.
To the release. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But you also know not to buy this because we are counter trending.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. Good. Jay, you were saying USD yen.
So if this buy does set up, since it's kind of an eclipse trade because it's coming from the daily, would you target higher levels or still stick to the recent high because we're still kind of counter trending
Which recent high are
from
you
the 60.
referring to?
So if this buy breaks and like pulls back, would you, because it's kind of an eclipse trade, would you target like higher prices or still target here because we're still in a downtrend on the 60?
I will target this piece. All right. Because this is just again based on logic. If we are saying higher time frame on the daily, this is primary. Higher time frame, this piece is the primary, and we went over this a few times now. So this could be a pullback for the secondary to launch. There is a good possibility where it can get above this just because, you know, what we learned in the MPA. If this price does this, it just means that maybe the cells want a higher price to push down lower, logic like that. So at least we can still try and target areas like this because he only have the power to push price to there, and that's it, kind of situation. So here should be considered conservative, I guess. But yeah, that's just me. You can get out there, scale it out a little bit, and then see what happens. But because this is a daily time frame, you also have to be ready if you want to stay in the trade for this kind of situation. Goes up, holds a bit. You might need to sit through all this kind of stuff. And then that kind of situation. So,
Got it.
yeah. So here it should be okay if it does this. Are you already in the buy or?
No, I'm just waiting for a break of the range or something.
Yep. Yep, I'm waiting for the same thing. Yeah, I just want to point out that, Laila, do you remember your USD CAD from, I forgot which day it was, but same kind of situations, primary, secondary. This is ideally where it should launch and go to make new lows, right? And if this thing fails, then we can do the buys. But we do not do the buys here, here, here.
No, I'm realizing that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking if it kills this last seller, I'm waiting for that last seller to get killed, and then maybe it comes up to where you want it to get out. I'm thinking, okay, if it comes down slowly, then I'm gonna take it up to this main seller.
Yeah.
Maybe to here instead. Just waiting to kill this one.
Yeah.
Come back slowly and take it up was my thinking for today.
Yep. So the difference between this setup and the one you had before is USD yen has a story behind why this would fail, because USD yen is saying this could be a higher time frame secondary.
Yeah.
But on the one that you were doing, that failure, it can fail, but this one has higher possibility of traveling far because of the story from the higher time frame.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. And not necessarily we have to get above him. As long as we break this range, it should be decent enough because it's also a range forming.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So yeah, this is something interesting to watch out for.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem. Yesterday we were talking about the sales from there. I was waiting for an entry but couldn't get it. Not sure if you guys were in the sell.
I was in the cell. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Let's go over with Eric first. Let's see if you have anything, and then after that we can go over some post analysis.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Lucas, I'm looking at to sell Australia, New Zealand dollar. Actually, I had two pairs, but I think this one is kind of like a setting up first. I was also looking at British pound, Australia dollar, but now Australia, New Zealand. It seems that at the point that we can get an entry. Yeah.
So higher time frame?
Oh, hold on. Why? For some reason, I cannot see your chart anymore. Why start? Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking at to sell this because it's a counter trend. I checked 4 hour. It's still far away from the 20 MA, I believe. And then on the 5 minutes now, we basically has got volume behind us. We also took out the range already. So it looks like now it's trying to pull back to a level that I can get an entry.
Okay. You want to sell this, right? So
yeah, I want to sell this.
Sell this. Where's your level to sell off?
Okay.
So 240, do you have a level?
That's true though. I was just looking at this thing is very extended.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not enough.
No.
The basis of our trading is we have to make sure we have a level to work off.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the first most important thing. So you might have a level. Let me just go for the. We might have this kind of situation where before buyers were coming in and they got killed.
Yeah, but that's very far away, isn't it?
It can still work, but yeah, I just want to make sure that you know when you're taking a trade, you have a level to work off.
Right. Yeah, in this case, no, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so it's a no-go, I think, yeah. Although it looks like very good in 5 minutes, but no.
No. Yeah. You have a level, okay, that's fine. And then the next piece is making sure you have volume on this uptrend.
I do have volume, but I'm not quite sure if is that level. I didn't check. So sorry. Yeah, I didn't thought of that.
Yeah.
I was just more focusing on because I was thinking this thing, it's so overextended, and then any reaction from there, those people, whoever bought down there, that they're going to cash out because it's really good money already.
That's true, but to because sometimes you see stuff like this and they keep going up higher. You know, that's how MPA cheese traders would do it. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you take sales like this, you have to make sure at the top there's high volume. In this case, it's not particularly high.
No, not from 1 hour. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So level is the most important thing, and then volume.
That's true. In the 1 hour, it doesn't look very good.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Right. No problem. Yeah. If there's high volume, then we can continue the analysis. But if there's no high volume, then you shouldn't do the 5 because the 5.
No point. There's no point. Yeah.
Will confuse you.
Correct. Oh, that's great. Thank you.
No problem. And the other one that you had?
Oh, I have it's British pound, Australia dollar.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So this one, I was trying to buy it, and it looks like we have it's pulling really deep. This one. It's pulling really deep, and I also checked higher time frame, the 4 hour. 4 hour looks like it's kind of like a channel. So oh, sorry. Yeah. So if you look at that, it's kind of like we probably have a good level here. Those bunch of people, right? So they were trying to sell and sell failed and they got trapped. So it is a good level. And then on the 1 hour, we also see that big range over there.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, and so what I'm thinking, and also now we have a volume here and the price action looks good. So I'm thinking that could be my primary because this action happened in a zone that is interested to us. And then I'm trying to see if I can buy this maybe my secondary. So at this moment, so if we go down to the 5,
Okay. Well, going down to the 5.
Yeah.
How does your volume looks? Because you're fading this piece, right? This
Yes.
main piece.
Yes.
So this main piece, how does the volume look like? Overall volume analysis.
Yeah. So we have some volume at the top over there, and
Yep.
then and then somewhere there as well, breaking through that range, and then and then here. So basically, it's kind of like all the way down, but the worrying part is at the moment the bottom, the volume at the bottom is not as high as previous ones. So that's a concern. So I was hoping with London Open and everything, I could get high volume up here for the secondary, but at the moment it's not happening yet.
Yeah. So the volume so far is telling you this temporary downtrend is still fairly strong.
Still strong, yes.
Yeah. So that's one thing. That's one risk. The other risk is this range here.
Yeah.
We release from there. We release from here, sort of.
Right.
Really deep. So how sure am I that we can still go up? I'm not sure. Unless we change the trend again. You know,
Right.
like taking out that guy.
Okay. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So at this piece,
True.
you also have to think about, hold on, when this pulls back, it's actually coming from this.
Yeah. That huge trap
Yeah.
or huge range there.
Yeah. So are they gonna win, or is this gonna? Then you have to see who has bigger volume. But because both sides have bigger volume and the trend is not so healthy anymore, it's hard to.
It's very hard. Yeah.
Take a side. Yep.
Hard to gauge. Right. Thank you.
So don't go down to the 5 too quickly. You want to make sure.
Right.
Yeah, all your work is done on the 60.
Okay. Right.
So this is a little bit better than Aussie New Zealand because at least you have a level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at this pair, actually monitoring this pair. The other one, I just the alarm on the 5 minutes. I think that one, the whole logic was not really that good. I think the biggest part for me is just need to spend more time on the 1 hour before going down to the 5 minutes. I think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Let's go over some post analysis, shall we? Since today is Team A, we'll start with Team A first. You guys took any trades yesterday that you guys have any questions on? Anything you want to confirm or highlight? Team A.
I ended up taking a buy on the CAD Swiss. I wanted to see if my entry was worth it.
Yep. Okay, so what were your 5 then?
So I got in. Yeah.
Sorry. All right.
I got in right at this green candle,
Okay.
where it launched and was testing here.
Yep.
But we were right at that 60 level that it created on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that when I got in, so I was just being a little bit more aggressive to make up for it. I don't know if that's the right call or not.
So yesterday, what were we saying? Yesterday we were saying you have super high volume here. You have no volume whatsoever around the zone here. The only area where you might see some problem is this area here, right? Because that's where the last 5-minute guys were trapped. Even if that's the case, we wouldn't see a huge reaction of those zones because there isn't much volume at all. So getting in here is okay. It's just the stop placement would be a little bit more tricky because, you know, obviously here is the safest area for a stop because if we lean on what we have been learning about this kill, this is sort of like a, what's it called? A lopsided kill, right? So there's a possibility where price can pull back towards this zone here. So getting in here with spreads, you know, it's not the best kind of trade you want to be in. But the good thing here is, you know, this trade has the potential to at least travel towards the recent high. What you want to do in situations like this is when we kill the guy, you have all the volume behind you, hit the buys as it's coming down in the red bar. Here. You want to do that, but obviously making sure that your stops is below the release zone, which should be around here or here.
Yeah, my stops were all the way down there, and I targeted that area on the 60. If you go to the 60, I targeted up here. I kind of had no choice.
Stop you there. That's not the. I've done this multiple times before. That's not a position you want to be in when you get in a trade and then having to think, I have no choice now to make my trade worth it, so I have to target further. You want to start by thinking where your exits can be first. Yeah, because I've been there a lot of times, and sometimes it works, but when it doesn't work, then it really sucks because you obviously know the trading wasn't done so right.
Got it.
Yeah. So it was a good trade. You were able to get up there, obviously, because you have all the story backing you up, all the volume backing you up. All that stuff is good. It's just a habit of I have no choice situation where it could be tricky sometimes. So you just gotta be careful of those habits. But yeah, it was tough to get an entry after, you know, this kill, if we are considering this guy as a kill. So the only way to trade this is when you see a red bar coming in, which gives you a decent risk reward, then you just gotta hit it. Otherwise, you can always stay on the more conservative side, just to see where the release zone is. Where is it? Here. And then just put your limit order there.
Yeah, that's what I did originally. And then when I seen it kind of leave, I changed everything.
Yep. I understand. I had my order there as well. I wasn't able to get it.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah, but it's good. At least now you know, after this piece, it's all about how your execution is. It's not so much about story, the analysis anymore. This piece after this area here is all about your trading skills. the technical side of stuff. Right. So yeah, good job on Cat Swiss. Eric got in way earlier as well, so good job to both of you guys on this trade.
Thank you. One more question.
Yep.
If I was to plan like ahead in case I needed to take the higher entry, would you say that's still a bad habit, or?
Then it's fine, I suppose. You just need to know here would cause some problem, and take some action there. But as long as your stops is above where it should be, here, and don't try and mess around with the trade too much. If it starts ranging that kind of situation, then it's fine. Yeah. The riskier situation is if, let's say, you get in here and you're telling yourself, and say you want to exit there, right? You get in here and you're saying to yourself, all right, stops here definitely is not going to worth it because spread is going to put me up there. I have no choice now but to reduce my stops. Then that's not good. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, very good question. Yeah, any other further doubts about this one?
I have a question about it.
Sure.
On the 5. I was thinking, how much do you need to kill the guy who started it? We said that this is the guy who started it. I'm seeing that, okay, if it comes and kills that one also, then you can put a limit order here. Because I need to see some distance because this could kill the guy and come right back.
Yeah.
In this range also. So this would be something to kill him and then put a limit order.
What about this range?
Well, I'm seeing that here you can have a reaction. This is the guy who started it. So if it comes up to here, killing that also, then you put some limit order to take it from here up.
Yeah. So
it could be, I mean, how much do you wait? Because it could be this little kill, but it can come down very deep.
Yeah, I understand. So the best situation is obviously to have a stronger kill, right? With a stronger closing bar to make sure it's actually kill.
Yeah.
When you have that, then you put your limit order here.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's why yesterday I was actually waiting for the 60-minute to close, just so I can clearly see its very, very strong rejection towards the upside.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure when is it killed. If I go back here, if I say this is the guy, right? Is this a kill or not? I'm not sure because it's barely above and we have a huge wick on top. And then we kept having wick and tails up there. And then here finally it's, above everything. But here, obviously, the trade is too far for at least for a good risk reward. Then the only thing I can do is just to wait for pullback and put a limit order there to try and get me in.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No problem. Ian?
On the pair, which was this one, if we go to 5, in order to fade the momentum.
Hold on. Yep.
Okay, you said now that this could be the guy who started it or this. What if we consider this to be the guy who started it?
You can.
We can see here taken
Yeah.
and then put a limit order here. Also, we have the volume, high volume
Yeah.
rejection.
That's why Eric, he got in way earlier. He was considering that this is the last guy and getting in around zones like that. So you can do that. But again, I think I sort of mentioned this yesterday, where if this is the low and we actually have a new low, I'm not sure. Here, obviously a new low has formed, but the candle is so small that I'm not too convinced that this is a guy. So if I'm not sure, then I'll just resort back to a bigger swing situation like that.
But it states here something like 3 candles from here down.
Yeah, but it's
or
very,
4 candles. Yeah.
it's very choppy and weak, right? I want to see stuff like this, solid push. And if this is the last guy, solid kill situations like that.
Mhm.
So I just wasn't sure here to call this the last guy. So the only thing that saves you to buy this is making sure 60-minute level is good, volume is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Yeah. Just make sure the story is good. 60 minutes is good. 5 minutes is the last thing we consider. All right. Yep. So Jay, all good on this one. Yeah, it was a good trade. I'm not saying that it's bad at all. It's just some stuff where I've seen myself doing it and burned myself doing it before.
Yeah. I just noticed every time I put in a limit order, it kind of never gets filled, so I have to just switch up last minute. So I just have to work on it.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens a lot, and it's fine. But when the limit order fails at your release zone, generally that would give you a very good risk reward. But that's a good problem to have. That part of the analysis, because the main thing you want to be super good at is the story part. All right. Yep. Team A. Any other post analysis you guys want me to look at?
I saw something on CAD yen.
Yesterday, CAD yen. All right.
I think I did this one. So when I was just checking then I saw this long move, and they came back with high volume, and the result back up immediately. So I went to the other side to check on the left to check what's going on. I noticed that it started from here to here. So we have a sell, and sell. A lot of volume at the bottom, and we have the volume at the top. So when this one is coming up, this is the last guy, and it got killed. So we have a release on there for the sell side. Then it's coming out with the volume at the bottom, and it resolved up, taking out this guy, the last guy that started. So we have another release on there.
Yep.
So we have the one at the top and we have one at the bottom. So he reacted from the one at the top with the high volume. So the bottom one take it back to the top, but they don't have with this one they don't have much volume. So I was watching this one because after we finished the section, it's already, I think it was around there. and I started seeing it on the 5 that, I mean, it started slowing down. So I went on the 5 to check this out.
Mm.
Can you go to the 5, please?
All right. So this cell, which level are you using to sell this?
The top one, top level.
So which one? This
This
one?
one, right? Yeah.
Okay. Now here's where it gets a little bit more risky. This buyers got trapped, right? They release. Bam. When they release, we came back towards the same area here. Same area to release. And then came back another time, and then another time there. So it's not something you want to do that often, because we have been there so many times, we're not sure if he's still trying to release or not. So then if that's the case, all right, you can look at this, go up, kill, right? That zone becomes your release. But even if we are considering this as a release, we're coming in way too deep. Hence, it's this piece here. It's more so about just looking at the momentum and how it slows down to take the sell. I don't think it's really based off traps, because the traps have been used here. It's that kind of situation.
So, yeah, because I was just basing it on the, you said we could go from one level to another. So I was basing it on that to see how it works.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I'm like, I extended it. I was like, okay, reacted from this, reacted again. Then with this huge one that most sort of like, okay, for them to take out this guy back up, they probably have some kind of strength as well. So that's why I use this level to see how they both. I was hoping that it's going to turn to a range. So I was that's the reason why I said, okay, if it turns back, I'm trying to take it from the top or sell from the bottom. That was just the idea that I was having.
Yeah. I understand what you're trying to do, but when we talk more about levels to level, it's more so about areas like this level to this level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We don't use the same level multiple times because we're not sure who's in control anymore. You see what I mean? So here to here, then that's fine. Otherwise, depending on what trend this is, maybe from here back up towards here, that's where level to level is. But if we come down and then come back up towards the same area again, then you have to ask yourself, if they are truly releasing, if they are truly trapped before and they want to release, why are price coming back again? Then it's not really trending anymore. Then like you said, it could be a range type of situation, but we're not really trading in a range. We're not really trading a range edge kind of thing. We're more towards trading a trend pullback situation. Yeah.
So I don't usually do that, but when I saw the whole thing, I was like, okay, let me see how it works. So
yeah.
That's why I did.
Yeah. No problem at all. I'm sure when you were looking at the 5, you were able to get the KO and that kind of situation.
Yeah, there's another thing on the 5 that I wanted to show you.
Okay. Yep.
So on the 5, and I saw this slow down, first attempt, second attempt, get killed. So, technically that more like a type 8 was expected to go from here. That right? So I remember because my release point was at the top. So then I remember you keep saying that, you know, when we're doing the rollover thing, that we must have a volume behind. But, you know, the setup looks good to continue to desell, but there's no volume. And at the same time, we said that we should monitor our release area to make sure at least the price get up there. So I was tempted to take the trade from there. Then I just started to hold on a little bit. So I put a lot on it. So if prior to the New York Open, when this thing rolled over and I started seeing the volume, so then I try to enter immediately, it goes up. Then I look on the left as well. When this one coming, we have a low volume, and prior to market open, the volume increase and the trade goes. So is that one of the reasons why you said we must make sure we have at least volume behind there taking a trade?
Yeah, you always want to have volume behind you to take your trade. So here, obviously, you have volume behind you, hence the sell, were to work. So yeah, some parts you're using where volume behind you, traps, kills, that kind of stuff. But you also need to make sure you're using it in the right context. So we want to use it in a more trending state and not an area where the release has happened multiple times. Yeah. It's a good attempt. Yeah, big volume there. Yeah, Ian. Different question.
Yes, I have a question. Can we? Okay. Regarding this level, you said we have a trap here or here in this zone, and we expect a release from here. Question is the following: where in this range we should consider, if we have a level, where should we consider the release? When touching the level, or we are in the level, or the first touch or near? Because you see here there is a lot of if we enter here, let's say, we have to stay this time, which is not good for our emotions.
So it's not so much about precisely where, right? You have to make sure there are a few things lining up for you, right? So the first thing is the market open, right? Second thing is the volume analysis, right? Volume analysis on your pullback from here to here on your 5 minutes. You gotta look at the volume analysis overall, detail.
Yeah.
Right.
On the first pullback, volume analysis. Let's say we touch here. Yep. This looks good. Okay.
Yep. Then you have to check market open.
We should enter at market open, you say, or something like this?
Yeah, we should only trade when markets are active.
Okay.
Yeah. So we only trade during Asia, London, or New York.
Open. Okay.
Well, okay, not open itself, but when the markets are open, not dead hours at least.
Market opens means 1-2 hours from the beginning of these sessions?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Then you look for the trend dying on the pullback. Trend die. So this piece. So
but what about if the trend dies too much? So we stay too much into the range. The emotions enters into, let's say here is the market open. The level, the volume, it's okay.
All right, let's see.
We should stay a lot of time until we have the reward.
All right, let's see. So situations like this, right? You want to mark out where your release is, which is here. All right. So
Yes.
that's where the area is. When we push down, we also have some sort of reaction, So price may bounce off that zone. We're not sure. All right. It's that entire area we're looking at. Okay.
Yeah.
So go to the 5 minute. Change it to London time. So from here, this is London 7:30 p.m., which is market close. Market open around 7:30 a.m. right here. Okay, so all this time we're not gonna be looking at it too much until we have volume coming in. Right? So
Yes.
here to here, where's the highest volume? We have a little bit here, we have a little bit here.
Yes.
It's overall volume analysis. Where's your last guy who started? In this case, this guy. So we don't do anything here, nothing to read, because there's no volume for us to take the sell, and markets are not open. So here, when we start getting interested in the zone, we start seeing volume.
Mhm.
Last
This is the
time-
Frankfurt or not?
Yes, Frankfurt.
Mhm.
All right, this is 7:30 a.m. London time.
Yes.
All right, so after that, let's see, we got a kill. Yep, we did get a kill. So right now,
Yes.
we have volume behind you. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Yep.
We have so we are now into the London session, but the high volume came from Frankfurt.
Yep.
Mhm.
So after that, this is around 12:40 p.m. So it's more towards New York session. So at this point, all you need to do is wait for a pullback to sell. Right? So you just see if you can get a pullback or not. Right? So that part, this is your release because it's a range. Right?
Mhm.
You have volume
Yes.
behind you. When you transfer it, you sell from there.
But at 13:30 London time,
Yeah.
is not a dead market.
No, it's New York session. Right, guys from US?
Yes, it's New York. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So that's
Ah.
New York session. Okay, so you hold the trade through, and then it goes down from there. Stuff like that.
Okay. So we enter something here. We stop loss. I don't know, maybe here or here.
It will be here. Not sure if that will squeeze us out or not, but it will be there.
Understood. Okay. So it depends on the time. Also on the time to be market open.
Yeah, because we need volume behind us, right? And when do we have volume?
Mhm.
When markets are active.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
And okay, in New York depends more the New York Stock Exchange open or New York open. You see, there is a difference on 30 minutes.
No, the first 3 hours of New York Forex open, it's fine. Now,
Okay.
the idea here is not so much about market open, it's more so about why we need market open. All right. The why behind why we need market open is because we need volume. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I have some questions.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure about the word conviction. You said sometimes that, I don't know, the trade came with conviction. What does it mean?
Do you remember where I say that?
I know a few days ago.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll.
Yeah, try looking at the which one.
On USD card, you used the word conviction on 18th of January.
Okay. Yep, and yeah, what was I saying about that?
I don't remember. Okay, I'll come later with this tomorrow with this question again.
Yeah.
Okay, but the word conviction, yeah, I'm not sure of what it means.
It means confidence. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we have a volume behind us, when we have a good level and a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. All right. Let's see what this thing is doing.
Other question could be, what is the significance of air vol indicator on volume? We have a funny volume indicator with a lot of colors.
This one?
No. The down volume plus.
Oh, this
one.
It's called RVOL.
RVOL, yes.
Yeah. What about it?
These colors. You see, we have a lot of colors. It's like
okay. Well,
Christmas
no.
tree.
Christmas tree. It's got traffic light.
Yeah,
traffic light. Okay.
Yeah, it's got traffic light.
I thought about colors.
Yeah. Doesn't really mean that much. It just means when it's super high, then it becomes green. When it's low, it's gray. That's all. There's not much to it. It's just how high the volume is, then the color changes.
But what is the difference between this RVOL and the volume, the classic volume?
No, it just lets me see
only
higher,
colors.
It just lets me see the higher volume quicker. That's all.
Yeah, but we could see also on the volume, on the classic volume indicator.
Yeah, you can. This is just personal preference thing. It's the same thing.
Okay. It's a personal preference. Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, Lila, you were talking about dollar yen. You took the trade, right?
Yeah. If we go to the 5.
Do this. All right.
Yeah, that would be the trade. Yes. I was seeing, just a minute. Gauging the volume, I think the volume, I didn't do anything in the beginning because I had this volume ahead of me. And then I see this one coming up. You don't see what I'm doing. I'm seeing volume increasing from here, yes, where you pointed. And then seeing this seller come down and then the buyer making a few tries, then this seller came down, killing this range, these buyers here, and seeing this little last buyer coming up, coming down, and I took the sell here. I was convinced to take this, I have volume behind me now, and it's bigger than this volume. And I was targeting even the other level, but I don't know if this is valid as taking the trade, because you're saying, okay, get out of the range and then take the on move. But I was really convinced that this is okay. They have been trying here, the buyer, and this is that last buy came with volume, and then the seller came even with bigger volume. So I took the trade. And down here, I was worried exactly here somewhere that the volume, okay, now it's increasing on the buyer side. And then I went to the USD. All the USDs were down, were up because of the news, I guess. Only this one was going down, so that worried me. I think that there's where I decided to get out and seeing this little wick from the buyer. And then I saw also the yens that were moving this USD for that moment. So it wasn't a USD move. So I just closed it.
Okay.
So I don't know if the decision to take the sell from the beginning was right, because you're always saying, okay, get out of the range and then come back and take the sell.
Do this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the safest style of trade you can go for. There's no other safer way to take trades. That's why most of the time, because I'm a little bit more conservative, I'll wait for this. But because you know the 60-minute story that this pullback is for sort of like the on phase, and you know this is your release zone anyway, all you need to do is have high volume behind you. So, all right, let's do this like that. Okay. First concern, volume here, right?
Yeah.
So when we gauge the buyers, guy who started, where's your last guy? Maybe it's here, maybe, right?
Yeah.
So he got killed, but we cannot sell this because we have volume right in front of us, right? So he pulled back. Ideally, we want to sell here, but again, we cannot sell because we have high volume behind us. But the trend has shifted. So it becomes a fight of the trend with the volume, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when you see volume here, let me just mark this with the, let's see volume here again.
Yeah. Increasing in that.
Yeah, in that 60-minute zone, you see volume here. You see the highest one here.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, you get the idea. It's around that zone.
Yeah.
And when it got destroyed, yeah, you can get in. If you're really, really convinced, and this is the part where, I use the word conviction. If you're really confident about the sell with your story and volume, you can try and attempt. Just know that if you do sell this piece halfway and then it rejects into a big tail, then you have to quickly get out.
Okay.
Yeah, because if it rejects really quickly with a tail at the bottom, it just means that he is still holding grounds.
Because of the volume, yeah.
Yeah.
If there isn't any volume, you could almost wait for that rejection to add to or to take the trade down from there, from the rejection, if you don't have volume there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's
this is the thing that we were a little bit more concerned about.
Yeah.
Then you have higher volume here. This is clearly when it's on, but getting in there is okay as well. You just got to make sure you get out quickly also, because if it rejects, then you have to get out quickly. That's all.
Yeah. I understand.
In terms of the exits, I wouldn't take this too far, because yes, we know We know this can be primary here,
Yeah.
right? This could be a secondary, and this could be the launch phase. But we also know that on the daily time frame, because we checked this.
Yeah.
Where's my MA?
This could be trading the secondary.
Yeah, this could be the secondary.
It's a refresh.
Yeah, this could be the primary, and so it's in a squeeze situation. So see, this is the S area. So you want to get out really quickly.
Okay. Even though I have volume behind me and all that, you say, okay, don't try the other one because it's too dangerous.
Yeah, it's too dangerous because these guys can launch anytime.
Yeah, okay.
That's why we have what's going on right now. See, they try. If this thing fails, it's gonna be a huge move.
Yeah, waiting for that now.
Yeah. So it was a risky trade to begin with, but it was still okay because we have a huge ton of volume there, and 240 is still following the downtrend, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 240 refresh against a daily refresh situation.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks.
Yep, no problem. I see Casey and Williams. Williams?
Can you go back to 5, please?
Yep. Where is that? Okay, here.
Yeah, I just want to ask what time of market are we in from this side to this side? Is that in Asia, or what time of market are we in?
11:05. It's 3 hours into 3 hours after Frankfurt Open. Frankfurt Open here. Sorry, here.
So this is pretty much like London Open, right?
This is London Open. This is New York. No, New York started here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I was thinking that from here that the trade is ready to go, but because there's no volume, later I just drag until it opens and started.
Yeah. You are right to say from here it should start to go, but because there's no volume, in fact you have volume ahead of you, so you stand aside. That's right. Then here volume starts to pick up. Ideally, we will wait for this. But as you guys get better and better at recognizing good levels in the 60, these are the aggressive type of trades that you can try. Get in midway situations. Yeah. Only if you have volume behind you here. Which is all this. Yep, Casey.
Real quick on this one, I learned a good lesson on this one with not having the volumes behind you, because I just went off pattern and I attempted to sell here, knowing that was a problem beforehand. I kind of thought, hey, we tested it once, maybe this could possibly break through. Is that super aggressive or just super dumb? Because I clearly knew there was no volume, but I just kind of wanted to get in the trade. For one, we're still in the learning phase, so I know that if I am in it, I'll watch it a lot closer. One thing, doing demo and stuff, but yeah, I learned pretty valuable lesson with this trade yesterday on some things.
Yeah. So even if let's say if there's some volume up there, some volume here, and some volume down here, here is still gonna be a fight. The fight of money spot, if you want to call it that way. But if you do have volume here, and let's say you do see that here also have volume. So that's this 5 here. Then you can start using your technical skills of, okay, the landmine tested once. This is the strength of this landmine. Oh shit, pretty strong still. Came back to the same area. Okay, not so strong anymore. Then maybe try like that. If you know, if you have volume.
Yes, yeah, news. This was the news. I think it's 7:30 New York Times. Some news came out, and that's when I scratched it here. And then I think I was at work, so I didn't follow it here to even try to get in this. So he left without me. And I entered one time. I entered a dumb trade right here, just being silly. So don't do that either.
Yeah, no, it's good because at least you know what works better or when does it work smoother. All right. So all these tries, all these attempts from this zone here gives you a valuable lesson on when it can go and when it will have trouble going through.
Yeah. This volume is like the FX, New York FX Open, and like this one I think is New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So that's why the volume starts picking up.
Yeah.
This kind of gave me hope, so I held on. But then when that news came out, I was like, nah. Hey, one thing real quick. I was kind of thinking maybe if this were to break above and then do something, that would be a pretty good. That's kind of what my hopes were. I was hoping that this would actually do something like this at one point and give us a better entry.
Yeah.
With some high volumes or something. That's kind of something I had thought about.
Yeah, I was thinking along the same lines. We are building a huge range, right? So if we do break up, this break will obviously get a lot of buyers to come in for them to for the sells to release or the buyers to try. Either way, if they fail, and there's volume up there, then this will be way better. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, man.
No problem. Yeah, I was waiting for this too. This was a good trade. Risky one, but done really well, Laila, for this sell.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Not even sure if it wants to go up. Yep, Young.
Yeah, I have a question. This unicorn program is good also for stocks, for picking some trades on stock.
I'm not sure because I don't trade stocks. But I think Naveen has some idea of opening up stocks in the near future.
Okay. Because stocks, it depends on the financial results and so on, no, not just technical analysis.
Yeah, but the
sentiment more.
Yeah, for the technical analysis, it works the same. Because I have seen him done few trades before, and it's based on the same analysis.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
I have a question. I just don't know if I can explain it well, but I was actually trying to take a sell on USD CAD, and I was using USDN as a sister pair. And I was just waiting for USD CAD to set up, but USDN already left, and it went down to its recent low.
Okay. USD. Okay. 60-minute interval. All right. Okay, so which part?
So for USD CAD, I like USD CAD better. USDN was a little bit too risky for me.
Mm-hmm.
So since USD CAD was going with the flow and it broke this range,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a pullback, and I was monitoring it side by side with USDN.
Mhm.
And USDN, it broke through its range, which meant that the sell was getting ready to go. But USD-CAD didn't really set up yet.
Yep.
And USDN ended up making it to the recent low, and it was reacting hard. So if USD-CAD did set up, would it be risky because USDN already played out, or?
No, you cannot compare it like that anymore because there's no correlation going on. So let's say let's use USD yen for now. When this thing starts pulling back, USD yen starts to launch, right? When USD yen launches towards the downside, dollar CAD is actually pulling back. So right around that stage, you will start to assume there's no more correlation going on. So yeah, you cannot compare it after seeing that kind of situation.
Yeah, because right at USD-CAD's level, it was building a nice range with high volume.
Mm-hmm.
And then when USD-yen made it to the recent low and reacted hard, USD-CAD ended up going higher. So from there, I just thought it wasn't going to play out.
Yeah. One other thing is USD-CAD. You could say this is I don't know what this is, but maybe a huge primary, huge secondary. But yeah, like you said, the entire thing got broken through towards the downside. Looking at how this rejection comes in might give you a warning sign.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of candlestick patterns, but this hammer here doesn't look so good for the stuff. Just based on this. Plus the fact that there's not much correlation going on, so it's tough for you to compare them side to side.
Yeah, I was trying to find other pairs, but there wasn't much correlation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Yep. The other thing you also want to see is the way that it starts pulling in. I'm not sure where the 5-minute volume is. When it starts pulling back in, volume sort of starts increasing. So yeah, those are the small warning signs. Yeah, but by now you should be able to see you guys should be able to see what a good trade is, right? A trade that we talked about usually will just leap out just like that. When we have to dig deep to really understand the trade and that kind of stuff, when you see yourself getting into situations like that, then think twice about the trade because it might not be the safest one. Yeah, it's just a trick I use for myself. When I see myself trying to convince myself to get in on a trade, then that's usually not going to end well. So, yeah. Yeah, any question on this one, Jay?
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Shall we call it a day here, or do you guys have any other question? Can still go on if you guys have any question from yesterday post-analysis stuff. Let's see. No? Tomorrow we can do a lot more recaps on the overall concepts and strategy. I think it would be a good way to end the week tomorrow. Yeah?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day.
Thank you, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you guys.
God bless you.